Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host. And when we went to break, I was talking with Terry Wiley, who is a candidate for the Alameda County District Attorney's Office. As I've said before, the next district attorney of Alameda County will be a black person because all of the candidates are black. And that is amazing. Matter of fact, it is exciting. It's so exciting, Terry, until I want to ask you a big question. Why do you want to be the district attorney of Alameda County? And why do you think you're prepared for that?
Well, I want to be the district attorney of Alameda County because I have been in the district attorney's office for 32 years. And in my 32 years, I've broken many ceilings in the district attorney's office. I've run every division in the district attorney's office with the exception of our consumer and environmental protection division. And when I say I've broken many ceilings, I'm the first African-American chief assistant in the history of the Alameda County District Attorney's Office. I'm currently also the director of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion division, which I created a 4-module training for all of the employees of the district attorney's office, not only the district attorneys, but our inspectors and our administrative staff. Everyone in our office has to go through implicit bias training. So there's a number of ceilings that I have cracked through, and I'm the person that is most prepared, and I also have the ideas to make our criminal justice system in Alameda County a more fair system where we have fewer disparities. Everyone that comes through the system will feel as though they've received a fair shake from our criminal justice system, but we also want to make sure that we have a system that keeps everyone safe.
And speaking of keeping everyone safe, where do you stand on the death penalty?
I'm against the death penalty.
Why are you against the death penalty?
I'm against the death penalty because of the manner in which the death penalty has been applied, not only in California, but across the country. And I feel that there are way too many disparities in terms of who gets the death penalty. So I will never seek the death penalty as the district attorney of Alameda County.
And that's a promise, huh?
That's a
okay,
promise.
Well, I like that because I too am against the death penalty. You've laid out a number of positions in your platform.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about a few of those positions. But, well, I won't go there. Let's just start with implementing progressive policies. What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by that, Bob, is that, in our criminal justice system, one of my biggest complaints is throughout my years in the district attorney's office is that there are too many disparities in the system. And I'll give you one example. Okay. In 2013, I took over our juvenile division. And what I found was that there was a lot of disparity in terms of who was actually in the juvenile hall versus who was actually committing the crimes out in the community. And what do I mean by that? That black kids and brown kids are not the only kids breaking in people's cars or committing thefts. Yet when you went to the juvenile hall, it was predominantly black and brown kids in the juvenile hall. And
and the DA makes those charging decisions, is that correct?
We make the charging decisions, but we don't make the decision whether to bring the juvenile to juvenile hall. That's made by the police, and then the probation department makes an assessment once the juvenile gets to the juvenile hall. So there are a lot of other moving parts that really contribute to the juvenile being held in the juvenile hall.
That's a big change back in the 1960s when I was a deputy probation officer.
Yeah.
The DA was not involved at all.
Yes.
But
yes.
Okay, so do you think that process is fair or that it's working?
It was not working when I got there, and I felt that in our juvenile system in Alameda County that there were too many kids that were unnecessarily incarcerated. So between 2013 and 2017, while I headed the juvenile division, the incarceration rates of juveniles fell 70%.
How much?
70%.
Why?
Well, I started off first by meeting with the superintendent of Oakland Schools and said that we will no longer take kids into the juvenile system simply because they got into a fight after school. You know, when I was a kid in school, and if you got into a fight with another kid after school, you had to go see the vice principal or the principal, and the school dealt with it. I came into a system in 2013 where Oakland Unified School District was sending all of the kids to juvenile hall if they got into a fight.
To juvenile hall just for a little fight?
For a fight.
I guess I would have stayed in juvenile hall.
And it was contributing to the pipeline to prison for many kids unnecessarily. So we initiated a policy that we would no longer take any kids simply because they'd gotten into a fight after school. Now, the exception to that was that if a weapon was involved, then that would be treated like any other case.
And you were instrumental in instituting that particular
I was the
project.
person responsible for implementing that policy. And in addition to that, some of the improvements we made to the system in terms of incarceration rates continue to this day, so that today as we speak, juvenile hall is only averaging for the whole county about 54 kids in the juvenile hall.
And that is important because the OK program is also involved in that process. And some of you will recall the name of Bishop Bob Jackson and the OK program and the role that they have been playing with the 100 Black men and others to keep the young people out of incarceration. So you're right, it's about 50 some odd people out there now, but it was, as a matter of fact, the place was built for over 500 people to be there. So I'm so happy it's only about 50 or 60 there at most. Don't touch that remote. We have to go to break. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and I'm speaking with Terry Wiley, a candidate for Alameda County District Attorney.